things got worse because of Logan. Now I'm the only kid in town. Hey, are you okay? He told me right before the incident everything would be okay. I lied. Hey, are you okay? Logan used to be my friend, but now I hate him.
Uh-huh.
Hey there. Hope the pressure's not getting to you too much. You're trying to find out more information about Logan, huh? Well, ain't that cute? I'm afraid there ain't much more to know than what's already been known. But I suppose I wouldn't mind you proving me wrong on that. What? Yeah, I made this equipment. So what? I can't hardly be held responsible for everything that moves in and out of my shop now, can I? What are you implying, huh? You got a lot of nerve. I'm afraid there ain't much more to know than what's already been known. But I suppose I wouldn't mind you proving me wrong on that, huh? So what if I did? What was I supposed to do? His mind was made up. If you had half of mine left at all. I'm afraid there ain't much more to know than what's already been known. But look, I was close with Howlett and Logan as well. What happened to that man was a gosh dang travesty. But that's just the way things are out here sometimes. All it takes is one slip up, and you're gone. I always considered myself to be like an uncle to Logan. I would have taken him in, but I guess he didn't see it that way. I worry about what Logan might do, and I worry about how the more things escalate, the less likely I'm ever gonna see that pup I used to know ever again. There ain't gonna be an amicable settlement at the end of all this, so don't over-involve yourself. Be seeing ya.
Hey there. How you holding up? Wow. Where'd you dig up an old relic like that? Yep, that's me in the background. But I can't say I remember too much about this day. Oh, people were always getting married in the blue moon back then. Logan's ma. What was she like? I can barely remember her face if not for this photo. She skipped town not too long after Logan was born. Shocked everyone with that move. Hardly worth mentioning Logan's old man. Howlett took it the hardest. But you'd never have guessed it from this photo. Looks like a match made in heaven. Except for the tear down the center, I guess. When Howlett came back with the disease and was put in quarantine by the church, Logan really lost it. He started shouting for them to release his paw outside the temple door. Understandable. Howlett was all he had his whole life. Well, that's not completely true. I considered Logan a friend once. I really just hope he sees through all this madness and turns himself in. Then maybe the healing can begin.
Oh, er så gniddig.
How you holding up? Yeah, not that night. But he came into the saloon that day with Haru, and they were acting real strange, buying up a lot of supplies. It was later that I heard that they blew up the temple in an attempt to get Howlett out, and the old man died in the blast.
Oha.
Frankly, even if Logan did manage to get Howlett out of quarantine, it would have endangered us all with the disease. Real sad story. Other than that, though, I'm afraid I don't know much of anything. Hey there! How you holding up? So you're trying to find out more about Logan, huh? Yeah, I don't blame you. It's all pretty weird. Never heard of a decent fella going bad so quick like that. My hope through all of this is that nobody else gets hurt. Well, good luck with whatever it is you're doing. And let me know if there's anything else I can do to help. Welcome, one and all, to the world-famous Sandrock's own running of the Yakmals. Shout out to City Hall for inviting me here today. Now, I'll bet some of you are wondering, why the heck do we all get together every year to try to bump Yakmals into each other anyhow? It is with great esteem that I shall now honor an age-old tradition and regale y'all with the tale that started it all, the Shonash Clash. Many years ago, the great-grandparents of our very own ranch couple, Cooper and Mabel, were traveling yak-back through the Eufaula, delivering various supplies up and down to the earliest settlers, long before the railways were ever built. Back then, the only road was through a narrow part of the North Shonash Canyon, and one day these two yak boys were passing through from both ends at the same time. They ran into each other halfway through, their carts in tow, each blocking the other's path. One called out, "You back out so I can get through!" And the other replied, "No, you back out so I can get through. I'm more than halfway through the pass. You back out." "No, you ain't. That's 1/3 and a quarter at best. You back out." This back and forth went on for hours, and pretty soon other travelers showed up and were understandably peeved at this. Funny thing about it all is this narrowest part of the pass was no more than 30 meters long. They could have all been out there in a couple of minutes, but no. Both of those fellas were too stubborn to back down. Soon enough, push came to shove. Literally. Other folks on Yakback started bumping into our two antagonists, front and back, till it was just bumper yak bedlam. In the craziness of it all, carts were knocked over, packs were cut open, food and other supplies were getting tossed all out on the ground. Before too long, everyone came to their senses. One person started to laugh, then another, and pretty soon they were all tumbling off their mounts, howling over the absurdity of it all. Here, I'm afraid, is where it gets dark. When they all looked around, they noticed that the two fellas who started this whole debacle were both dead as doornails, both of them with their hands wrung out around each other's neck. In all the chaos, it seemed those two boys really never had let their bad blood quit boiling. The rest of them folks, they all picked up their supplies. It had gotten late. They camped out there at the pass and cooked up all the food that had fallen off the mule yaks and carts and such, conversing all about what had happened. Word spread and, well, here we are, all these years later, still commemorating the event. So all y'all, I invite you to partake in the festivities. Hop on a yak mill, bump into your best friend, and try not to take it too personal if you get bumped yourself. With all that being said, I hereby declare the Sandrock annual running of the Yak Mill Festival begun!
Irgendwie kollidiert jetzt hier was. Bist du sicher, dass du beim Jagdmal rein mitmachen willst? Ich habe keine Ahnung, was ich tun muss. Aber das werden wir rausfinden. Ich habe Startposition 5. Das ist ganz da hinten. Wann geht's los? Oh. 1 Minute. Spannend. Aber hätten wir nicht um 12 bei diesem blöden Sandrennen sein sollen? Verstehe ich nicht. Naja, egal. Zwölf. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool, wieso komme ich hier nicht raus? Alter! Oh, ich hab... Warum kann ich nicht sprinten? Die sind alle viel schneller als ich. Okay, ich verstehe es leider nicht so ganz. Muss ich auch wieder zurück? Bleib ich einfach hier. Dass ich jetzt zurücklaufe und dann wieder hin. Oh, Kacke. Ah, okay, jetzt verstehe ich. Das muss unten aufgeladen sein. Bei mir geht gerade nichts mehr. Okay, ich kann das gar nicht. Okay, so. Mission fehlgeschlagen? Okay. Ich bin doch Erster. Hm. Ich kann mit ihm gerade nicht reden. So.
Hey, it's Skinny Arms. How can the Protector serve you today? What's that? Making bombs now, are we? Ha! Finally! You're getting into building cool stuff. I meant to say something to you about all those lame screws and boards and, Oh, I see. Yes, now that you mention it, I believe I have seen these kinds of bombs before. Yes. It's coming back to me. That foul Logan's paramount compatriot used those kinds of bombs as his weapons of choice. A bit cowardly, if you ask me. If you don't have the guts to look someone in the eye as you punch them in the teeth, well, in my book, you shouldn't be fighting at all. Furthermore, these puny things would hardly scathe a indomitable chevalier such as myself. Hey, it's Skinny Arms. How can the Protector serve you today? Aha! Trying to track down that dastardly Logan, are you? Good on you, Skinny. If you do find out where he is, why not tell me first? Skip the civil corps. Skip the paperwork, you know. Make sure Logan gets some real justice. No. I thought we were doing extrajudicial stuff already. It's not such a stretch from what you're doing now. Fine. What do I know? Let me think. The night Logan attacked our temple, I was at home pumping iron. Yes, I believe I was trying to perfect a 300-kilogram clean and press with one finger. But my darn palmar interosseous muscle was acting up. As soon as I heard the explosion, I rushed out of my room to see Burgess knocked out. That's something I see all the time, but what really caught my attention was the exploded temple. I managed to catch a glimpse of Logan riding away with someone, but they were too far gone for me to pursue. Maybe it really is time for me to get a loyal steed to call my own. Nah, I'll just keep training to run faster. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to my story as much as I enjoyed telling it. Say, Skinny Arms, you're a good listener. I'll have to tell you stories more often.
Nee, danke.
Hey, it's Skinny Arms. How can the Protector serve you? No more questions, I agree. There's a very good chance there's something around here that could aid in Logan's apprehension. Do let me know if you come up with anything good.
Howdy there. Any news to report on the water tower? Goodness, nowhere ever did you find this. You know, you don't need to be sneaking around, acting all suspicious if all you're after is information. Yes, this makes sense. Although I must admit, this shows a level of organization from Logan I can't say I was aware he might be capable of. No doubt you started to put things together since your arrival, but perhaps you'd best hear the tale in its entirety to dispel any misconceptions you might have about the whole ordeal. Not too long before you started living in Sandrock, a great tragedy struck this town. Howlett, the monster hunter, and his son Logan, with whom you are already quite familiar with, ran into some trouble. Howlett, when diving in some ruins, explicitly blocked off by the Civil Corps due to an abundance of unknown and dangerous substances. Sure enough, he became contaminated with something bizarre. Logan reacted rather wildly after Pastor Miguel quarantined his father inside the temple and refused to let Logan come in contact with him due to fears of contamination. He couldn't believe his father would be so careless as to come in contact with dangerous Age of Corruption concoctions. One night during the quarantine, Logan attacked the temple with bombs. I assume it was to free his father from the quarantine. But whatever the case, Logan botched the operation and parts of the temple collapsed. Us church folk were all outside, but Logan's father was still in there where we'd left him, and when we found him down there, he was already gone. Logan blamed us church folk for what happened, and now he seems bent on some kind of revenge. And he'd sooner take down the whole town if it means getting to us, I reckon. Howdy there. Any news to report on the water tower? Well, of course, I was there at the scene of it all, as were most of us. I came out after the explosion, but by the time I knew what was going on, Logan was long gone. Howdy there. Any news to report on the water tower? I appreciate your concern on the matter, but I fear there's not much we can do but trust in the acumen of our Civil Corps to bring Logan to justice. Without hurting him too much, I hope. Try not to get discouraged. There are brighter days ahead, I'm sure of it.
So. Jetzt installiere ich das Ding. Und hoffe, dass es spät genug dafür ist. Oh, und ich war nicht bei der Dings, um Dings zu machen. Bei der Handelsgilde, um diese, sonntäglichen Quests da zu machen. Es ist Abend. Wir haben 19 Uhr. Ich kann es noch machen. Hoch. Okay, warum auch immer das jetzt nicht geklappt hat. Gucken wir mal noch nach Quests. Bronzenite, Eisenriegel. Bringen uns auf jeden Fall Eisendolch. Gegerbtes Leder. Hartholzzaun. Ich mache den Eisendolch nochmal. Oh Gott, und das gegerbte Leder. Aber das habe ich ja jetzt durch diese kleinen armen Besen, die ich da, diese Huskies da, hatte ich das ja bekommen. Die. So. Ich werde mal mit ihr noch schnell plaudern.
Hey there.
Oh Mann, und wir haben auch gerade die Brücke fertiggestellt. Was hat dieser Logan eigentlich vor? Warum wird der von Leuten verfolgt? Was springt für die dabei raus? Irgendwas passt da nicht zusammen. Hey, danke, dass du Zeit genommen hast, mir was zu geben. Ich weiß das zu schätzen.
Take it easy.
Mal gucken, ob 20 Uhr Abend genug ist. Ja. Hi, Handwerker, deine Schritte klangen schwerer als sonst und ich dachte, du hättest die. Oh, irgendwas stimmt hier nicht. Gerade gar kein Sound mehr. Oh, mein Wissenschaft. What the fuck, was für ein riesiges Teil ich da gebaut habe.
It's incredible. What do you think the aperture is on this thing? 600 millimeters? 700? Whatever the case, I could probably count the debris in orbit. I could see the accelerators on the moon. I could... Thank you. Your assistance has been most acceptable. You want to use the telescope? I've spoken with City Hall preemptively and made a formal request barring non-research personnel from using the telescope. Unfortunately, my request has been denied. I've been told, regrettably, I must be nice and share.
Ja, finde ich
You
aber
may
auch.
use the telescope starting tomorrow, when I don't need it. I prepared this as compensation for your efforts. Now, if you don't mind.
Wow, also ich darf jetzt das Teleskop benutzen. Das war's aber auch schon. Für die ganze Arbeit. Naja, was soll's. So, wir haben jetzt noch das Gelaber weiterhin und die 2 Quests und den Turm.
It's you! Dang, you got me good that time. Say, how'd you like to get in on a little secret? Here's the scoop. I may or may not be in the possession of information that may or may not lead to the capture of something big, real big. Something simply known in the Yak Girl community as it. But I'm afraid that's all I can say for now. I'll let you know how it goes. See ya!
Okay. Ach so. Ich habe ja keine Bronze-Dinger aktuell, stimmt. Ach, den kann ich sogar so herstellen. Ist ja geil. Und sein gegerbtes Leder. Ja, nicht ganz, ne? Muss ich grobes Leder farmen gehen. Okay. Gut, ab in die Falle.